recap here, you're saying that's kind of a secret from the inside, dealing at the very top. I am curious, and we'll go into it. So if we're talking about maybe the NDPs don't know everything, haven't been provided all of the information, and we're delving into leadership, I want to go to the very end of that spectrum and over to Danielle Smith's government, because word today, officially released July 31st, 2023, 857,523 yes votes. And as somebody who's a high integrity journalist from Alberta, and I really appreciate that I've been entrusted into the data center, Fort Knox, to to verify the votes that are coming in from 154 cities, and some of these places in Alberta, being an Albertan, you forget these tiny little places where there are people. They're not just numbers, on a government data sheet somewhere. These are real people and families, and have made Alberta who she is today. They're having their voices heard loud and clear, Greg. So back to you on that. I mean, it's just incredible.
And I think we just talked about the whole point of this is for the people, for the people's voice to be heard and their vote to count. And we have come full circle. And the more I listen to and interact with the people, just the more convinced I am that indeed, here we go. I've said it a million times. There's so many frustrated people out there, Val Olson. There's so many people who have thrown their arms up, just given up. They have no control over anything in their life. And I'm as diplomatic as you get. My whole brand, Dueling Citizens, and is based on pragmatism, in crossing the aisle, in jumping on the ice, go punch your buddy in the nose on the ice, and go have a beer after the game. That's my brand. And sadly, I think, and I'm sure it's because of the internet, and I'm sure it's because of just professional operatives and all that stuff. Sadly, it's just become a great big confrontation, and the inability, honestly, to cross the aisle, or most importantly, to be able to say anything publicly, Val. I'm just, to this day, and if I never have one more day dealing with the Alberta 51 movement, which I will, but I'll be totally satisfied that I got a feel for this, and I got a feel for what's happening up there and what the people feel. And again, I'm, to this day, to this moment, as I sit here, I'm still really concerned about the people who still will not speak up, Val, and it's all because of fear. We've talked about that. Anyone that wants more information on these subjects, obviously just go back to our previous episodes or go to my YouTube channel. But I feel in my heart that pastors, I've said this before, that pastors do not want to speak up or put their names in a database up in Canada right now. This is my theory, because they're afraid of getting arrested. I believe there are politicians up there that I've called closet AB 51ers, who indeed, if we're given 100% privacy, never affect their career or their job, their whatever, that they'd vote yes. Once, here's the joke: once they've read the brochure, done a little bit of homework, it's a clear answer. So I'm still concerned about the folks who have never ever voted up in an election, and I now know there's hundreds of thousands. It's plural. I'm not even going to put a number on it, but they've never ever voted up there. I'm concerned about the lost coins and the lost lambs, and the folks who maybe are politicians that can't speak up, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't. If I were a politician in Canada right now, I'd be really concerned at speaking up, because it'll be the end of your career. It'd be the end of your career. So we come around full circle to the mission's the same. It's all about the people. It's all about what their real answer would be if they knew they were maybe in control of their destiny. It would be the folks coming out of the proverbial closet who would not have said AB 51 publicly in the past. What's that number? And I'll tell you what, right off the bat, I've been looking at a number well over 1 million. hitting on all cylinders. 1.1, 1.2 million yes votes, but that's I'm not even going to talk about that publicly. Then I come public with Val here. No, so that's who I'm concerned with, and so I'm saying between now, July 31st, 2023, and sometime after the fall of 2024, that these are the answers that Albertans themselves that can come up with. They can come up with the rest. And when I said it's the end of the beginning, that's exactly the way it feels. Feels like a wedding reception to me. You know, I don't know if anyone's ever been through a wedding or run a wedding or, but that feeling after everything's done and you get to sit back at the end during the reception, sometime you kick back and you say, this is the craziest number of months to prepare this and what we went through right up to the last minute. But now and then you just sit back and you say, yeah, this was great. And this is also worth it. But in the end, just like a marriage, just like a wedding, it is indeed just the end of the beginning. The beginning starts with your life together. So I'll probably turn the mic back to you on that note, Val, for your feedback. But I sure have, honestly, have sure been sharing stuff that I probably wouldn't have had I not just been in this space, being able to really converse